All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for podcast number 57.
The VOD.
The VOD, yes, of the Twitch stream that happened
Monday.
Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you weren't there, why not? I'm sorry that you weren't,
join
but
us
you
for
should
the
join
next
us for the
one.
next one. Exactly,
Yeah.
so you can get your questions answered or just chat and hang out with us as we talk
Exactly.
about cool stuff.
The Twitch is in the description.
Yes. Twitch is in the description. We got to give a shout out also to one of our VIP patrons, DBE1000. Thank you so much for the support. You're awesome. Glad to have you on the Discord.
Glad you could make it to the movie watching.
Oh, that's true.
That was
yes,
great.
that was really awesome to have you there. But yeah, enjoy it, guys. All right.
Hey guys.
How's it going, everybody? Lunar 23. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Yes.
Glad to have you here.
That's right, Ryan. Boop. Yes. How's everyone's Monday going?
Yeah. Sound off in chat. Like, how's the start of your week going?
Yeah.
Love to know how things are going on here.
Yes, pirates, indeed.
Dads, yas. Good to see you, Mia.
Good morning from Australia. Well, hello, Dutchman. So would that mean that it would be like springtime for you down there? Australia?
I mean, probably.
Right around now, because it's October. Yeah. I think so. I think that's how that works.
Yeah, Lunar, you're from the Discord, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
glad to have
Attack
you
on
here.
Titan? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Whew.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we would have had an Attack on Titan episode yesterday, so...
I kind of like having the break, though, personally, because the whole thing of, like, recording and then immediately, like, editing, getting it up.
Yeah.
We haven't done those in a while, and that was fun.
That was fun.
That was fun. Yeah. So having a breather for that is great. Oh.
Hey, Ayun! Feeling pretty good after the gym?
Yeah.
Get it!
That's right.
Body Improvement Club.
You're an inspiration to us all.
Indeed. Oh yes, pirates. We will discuss what the pirate theme is.
I know it seems random, right? Like we're an
Well,
anime
no. It makes a lot of sense, but the thing is, they don't actually know what it's about because they think it's a specific type of pirate.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
We can talk about those pirates too.
Oh no, was that blue balling them?
Yeah, kind of
maybe?
a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, the Dutchman. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Glad to have you here.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we can say that there's not a trolling thing going on here, but there's something that happened this week that reminded us about the brilliance of pirates, and it makes sense for us to talk about a little bit because there is a particular manga that we will be reading.
Yes.
Eventually. But no,
yeah.
we're not going to be starting to read One Piece here at this podcast. No, not yet. Not yet. We are flying a little bit by the seat of our pants with regards to moving schedules around to getting things prepped for the Twitch streams in general. We haven't gotten things fully set up for a gaming stream night, but that is something we can talk about, I would say, pretty quickly right here, is that 6 p.m. PST on Fridays will now be the game night stream. So that means that if Jacob doesn't have D&D, he can hang out with us as well. It's also a night where we're not crunching for editing time, so we can flex in things and make stuff happen. But we could do kind of simple games there, do a co-op Slay the Spire run. That's what's been going on right now, is just casual Slay the Spire runs and stuff. But hey, Dieza4, hello. We got people from Portugal, Canada.
Yeah.
All people in the U.S.
Eating some peanut butter.
Yes. Peanut butter is so
amazing.
good.
Oh, yeah, piracy. No, that is not. No, not really.
Arr. In before topic is internet piracy. Hey, Rob. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
Do you guys hate free time? No, I play Ultimate Frisbee. That's what my free time goes to. Like for real. Like
free time.
Like you read D&D books and make D&D characters and play D&D. and watch Critical Role. So basically you breathe and live D&D on your free time.
I do kind of hate free time, though. And this is actually something that I've kind of been struggling with, if you don't mind me getting deep here for a second.
No, go for it.
Is, with all the amazing stuff that's been happening with the channel, right? The fact that we're able to do this is incredible, right?
Right.
And it's opened my eyes up a lot to the whole idea of what is and isn't possible. Because if you had told me, 3 years ago that I would be able to make a living talking about anime, I would have laughed in your face, right?
Right.
So now whenever I have free time, there's this feeling of like, oh, I need, I have all these things I want to work on, the channel stuff,
I should be building
the book,
and not
exactly.
Sitting. Yeah,
right.
I feel you.
I don't want to just sit around and get lazy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on, let's shout out some Twitch Prime subs. We got DX Saoshi and Siedon subscribing with the Twitch Prime subs. Thank you so much. Welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Yes.
One of the things that we're going to be telling all people that sub is make sure you go to the sub room. There is a permanent invite link there to our Discord.
Right.
Which means that basically anyone that is supporting us, and this is just going to be our policy, anyone that is supporting us in any facet monetarily, you get access to our private Discord channel. And there's a lot of things going on in there.
So if you have Amazon Prime, link up your Twitch account and your Amazon Prime account, because then you can get a free sub. Boom.
You get a free sub, and you get to
free access to
our
Discord.
And Discord is hot right now.
Yes,
we are doing events right now, and things are crazy in there. Very active Discord. We are very also active in the Discord itself, comparatively to I'd say most people that I've seen who run Discords. So we can talk with you guys about all kinds of stuff.
Even the Your Lie in April spoilers channel is still active. Even though the show's over.
Yeah, we were like, well, should we delete it now? No,
people are still using
it's still being used. So
yeah,
that's pretty good. Yes, we have a lot of follows that just came in. It's Me the Jester, Cry, Zappy Child. Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Yes.
And and it's Me the Jester. Just subscribe with Twitch Prime. Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Be sure to check out the sub only room for access to our Discord.
And again, the Amazon Prime free sub supports the channel exactly the same as if it was a paid subscription. So yeah,
it's pretty legit.
It's pretty awesome.
But you're essentially having Amazon give us free money.
Right, which is pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got a couple questions in here. Rob's saying, you might want to relocate that alert box, the upper middle or lower middle. It covers Caleb's face when it shows up. Hey, well, you know what? That's cool. That's totally fine. We're still figuring things out Twitch-wise and stuff. In fact, that's another thing we would love to hear from you guys is maybe some ideas of what should go in the alert box for specific things.
Yeah.
We tried to put something in for bits, and I don't think it's working right now. But yeah. Any ideas for Twitch-related things we're open to. How are you guys feeling with Haikyuu ending soon? That's actually something we're going to be talking about, as is in the name of the Twitch stream, Volley-boys.
Because
we will be talking about that. One of the things we did really recently was, with a bunch of our VIP patrons, we watched some of the Makoto Shinkai films.
Oh, yeah, the pre-Your Name ones.
Right.
5 centimeters per second and Garden of Words.
Basically, we're here to recommend these, and I know that you had seen these before, right?
Yeah.
But I had never seen these, and these are films that could not be described as simply just anime. It's art.
Yeah.
It's living, breathing art. And they have good emotionally grounded, character-driven stories, attached to them as well. But they're short films. I think it's 40 minutes and an hour.
Yep.
Respectively. I think Garden of Words
is 40 minutes, 5 centimeters per second. If you do, is an hour. If you watch them, I recommend watching 5 centimeters per second first.
Yes.
Because it came out first. And Shinkai's works are always just so jaw-droppingly gorgeous that starting with the older ones is the best. So
you're not spoiled.
That way you're not totally spoiled. I mean, if you've seen Your Name, then you'll kind of be spoiled, but they're different styles, so it's still.
But you look at the year when these came out and you go, oh my
holy
gosh.
Crap, yeah.
And you also see the inspiration for things like Your Name. Of where Makoto Shinkai made very similar films and stuff on his way to making Your Name.
The entire time we were watching those movies, it was basically us just being like, this isn't fair.
What?
Like, how do these look so good?
Yeah. Oh, we just have a new follower, Crusader Entertainment and True Justice.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Having fun with D&D, Jacob. Yes, absolutely.
You guys like pirates, lore-heavy games, anime? I'm sincerely curious how you haven't played Tales of Berseria or heard of it before a few weeks ago. Hey, you know what?
We have heard of it.
He was the one that sent it, the code,
right.
GUI engineer. Yeah, we're really thankful for you sending us the code and stuff. It's something where we have not delved into the exploring of JRPGs. So we're going to be doing that via the Twitch channel.
Yeah.
And let's actually talk about Haikyuu ending soon. That's a good thing to bring up here because we are really, really enjoying Haikyuu as it comes to the closing end of the anime. But there is this kind of
depression,
void. The void, if you will, of just realizing that we might have watched the greatest sports anime ever, and nothing,
we're not ready for it to be over.
Yeah, nothing really is going to truly replace it with regards to sports anime, but also just the ensemble cast of passionate characters.
Right.
I really feel like it scratches, in a lot of ways, the Bakano void for me, because Bakano, whatever.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah, it's the ensemble cast, but instead of being complicated like Bakano, it's simple and wholesome. Bakano was intense and complicated,
right?
But I love ensemble cast shows, and Haikyuu really did give proper characterization to everyone that they wanted to. So a good 15 characters, basically,
right? And
got characterization, which is
incredible.
Insane.
Insane. Yeah.
And you know, we haven't finished it yet, but even though we've recorded a little bit ahead, but
we're coming close.
We're coming close,
and
we're trying to think of like what should go on the next poll.
Like we were talking about this just this morning, and I was telling Caleb, I'm like, it just didn't feel right to even talk about
replacing Haikyuu,
about what we were going to put on a replacement poll for like, you know, sports shows and stuff, because it's like being spoiled aside on just the greatness that is Haikyuu, right? The idea that we have to say goodbye to these characters, like even if it's for a while, because you know, season 4, you know, whenever that comes out,
hopefully, please,
that at least it can happen. But like, you guys have heard us talk about how Haikyuu would be that show that we would go to on a bad day.
Yeah,
you know, when we needed a pick me up, when we needed a smile, like.
It was always there.
It was always there.
And it's so great.
And
you can't not smile watching Haikyuu.
You can't.
That's just
really
how
can't.
it is. It's
the thing
so
is,
great.
Like, we've been watching it for a long time. I don't know what the experience must have been like for you guys that have seen Haikyuu when you watched it, because you probably like binged it and stuff, you know, as fast as you can,
like 50,
it's that good.
50 weeks or something.
Yeah, like it's gonna be I think almost 60 or exactly 60 by the time it's done.
Yeah,
and that's a long time. Like this has been like a part of our lives as we've been watching this, and now we're gonna have to say goodbye. And I'm not ready to say goodbye. I hate goodbyes,
man.
and we've had to do this before with other shows and things like that. But like, the shows would either be like shorter or like it wouldn't hit that very particular emotion so strongly and so consistently.
We're going to talk about some of those other shows. There were a couple here that are like ones that we've been watching or have watched recently, or ones that you've only watched that are like so wholesome and so pure and perfect that we would show them to like anyone, anyone. Like, we would show them to our mother who just doesn't understand anime.
Like, exactly. And
like, Haikyuu is that. The only thing about it is that it so rewards you getting invested in the story, that it's not, I would say, for the shallow viewer, you know.
Yeah, exactly, because it will try and take over your life, and some people might not be up for that level of commitment. Yeah,
and they might not be willing to adopt, you know, 30 boys, you know, and two girls, you know.
Right, exactly. But like,
oh man, I guess 3 girls if you consider Daichi's very, very special friend.
Well, okay, at that point you could go beyond that, because then there's like Tanaka's sister.
Yeah, that's true. True. Oh man, so many amazing characters in this show.
Because the way Haikyuu does its characters is just fantastic. Like, and it's one of those things that is inspiring and just a little bit intimidating for me as a writer, because it's like, holy crap, they were able to handle a cast this big and make you care about all of them, and it's just it's
special.
It's wonderful.
It's absolutely special. I really don't know how to describe it.
Yep.
Hold on.
I don't know if you guys will answer this. It's early in the podcast, but I'll ask anyway. Don't kill me, senpai. Recently, there's been some drama in the anime community because of a particular anime that's been considered too violent or being violent just for the sake of it, even though nowadays there are way more violent things on TV almost every day. What do you think about it? Since you're reading Berserk, and that's a pretty violent manga compared to the average.
Okay, I don't know exactly what anime you're talking about.
I get the feeling I know what anime they're talking about.
What is it?
Goblin Slayer, probably.
Oh, really? I guess its name is Goblin Slayer, so it probably is pretty violent. But I don't have a problem with grotesquely violent stuff. My problem is generally on the body horror kind of shock trauma stuff. Gotcha. Like an example would be, let's say, Made in Abyss. The part in Made in Abyss, mild spoilers here, there's someone that gets a something piercing their hand.
Right.
And they change the imagery and the visuals and stuff to make it really intense and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the part that made it a little bit too much for me was not the grotesque amounts of blood and pus and stuff, but it was the bone cracking stuff. Well, that kind of stuff, that stuff unsettles me. So if the anime is doing things on a violent level with, like, you know, limbs acting off, blood everywhere and stuff, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Right. But when it gets into, like, torture and, like, you know, like, I know there's a scene in Tokyo Ghoul, it's like the one thing that's been spoiled for me is there's, like, peeling off fingernails and stuff. Like, I can't handle that. So,
yeah, and
holy crap, hold on. Some crazy stuff just went on the alerts. Wow. Oh, my gosh. Mike Park, Elias Kimbley just followed. Thank you so much for the follows. Wait, Alunar, you just subscribed with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. And Rop just gifted 5 subs to 5 different people. Rob, thank you.
Wow.
So much for just being awesome like that. What the heck? That's really nice of you. But hey, he just gave 5 of you access to the Discord.
Yeah, so get in there for those Discord events.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
From Varley, what shampoo do you guys use? I use Head and Shoulders personally.
I don't remember.
I have very thick hair, so sometimes I can get dandruff.
I buy the thing that is big and costs around $10. I don't remember exactly. I think if I was actually to say if I have a brand that I would use consistently, I don't think this is shampoo. I think this is a body wash because I never take the same shampoo, but it's Old Spice or it's a Costco brand. I love Costco. Let's just say that. It's a Costco brand.
Costco is one of the happiest places on earth.
It really is.
It is wonderful.
I'm sorry for those of you that don't have a Costco near you. It's sad. It's basically just bulk stuff.
Yeah.
So you save money and you buy a lot earlier.
Lunar's saying we should animate our mascot celebrating the alert. That is a really good idea. Like a little flying around or something.
Sure. I mean, that is something that I've had graphic artists give offers for, and it's not something that would be difficult for them to do. So,
bunch of shade being thrown around at the Meat is God faction.
Oh, shoot. All right. Let's catch up a little bit more, Jacob. See if there's anything.
You guys mentioned Red Rising a lot. Have you read Iron Gold? I have started. I have not finished it.
We have it here.
Yeah,
and I have to confess I haven't even opened it yet.
Yeah, I have opened it and I've read some of it, but yeah. Yeah, there will be a volleyball-shaped hole in our lives forever. It's
unfortunate, but it's just something that's it's going to be that way.
Oh, hey, Haikyuu live-action movie.
Oh, that's a good idea. Good. We are watching slowly but surely the stage plays.
Yes.
Oh,
the stage plays
are so good.
Are saving like grace.
A drug.
Yeah, drug that's basically going to last us, a little bit longer, so that we can at least wean off. The hype that is Haikyuu.
I'm like that owl in that little like Vine thing where it's like drugs, whatever the Haikyuu like stage plays have. They're like drugs.
Yeah. We'll just have to rewatch the beach episode in Avatar because they play.
Yvonne Kulovich, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. Avatar is a volleyball episode. Just so that is your sports anime.
If you want another sweaty young boys play with balls anime, I got some recommendations. Gotchigasm.
We'll see about that. hey, let's get this pirates thing out of the way so they don't be confused as much. So, guys, we're going to go a little bit deep into the discussion of a movie
came out a long time ago.
It came out 2003, I believe.
Something like that.
I believe it was 2003. But the thing is that this movie has been sequeled to death.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, people, I think, might have forgotten how amazingly good
the first one
was. We're talking about Pirates of the Caribbean. I know this is an anime general channel and stuff, but we can't not gush about like the most recent live action thing that we saw. Rewatched recently.
Rewatched it the other night, and it was mind-blowing how amazing it was. Like, this is a 2 hour and 20-something minute movie.
It's long.
Yeah, it's a long movie,
but they make it so
just
perfectly,
rip-roaring from beginning to end. I counted because I was like, wait a minute, they're doing this a lot. Jack Sparrow was imprisoned 5, potentially 6 times, depending on how you define it.
Yeah, like, because the island, where they drops off with Elizabeth.
Well, okay, no, that'd be 7.
That'd be 7. Oh my gosh!
And that's what's mind blowing. I'll go through them, but the idea that they were able to do this and have him escape each and every time in a single movie for introducing a character, like that's madness. It's insane. It's wonderful. Like that they were able to do something like that and have the plot still be moving so quickly. Because there's the time at the beginning where he is discovered to be a pirate, right? Yep. And they technically capture him, right? They have him in handcuffs, and then he gets away, right?
Right.
Then after fighting Will, right, he gets knocked out and locked up, right?
Then the Black Pearl shows up.
Black Pearl shows up. You think he's gonna get out, but he doesn't, right? And then Will breaks him out, right? Yep. And then they go, Will turns on him, because he, knocks him out and he gets captured by Barbossa, right?
Yep.
Then they catch up to...
That'd be 4 at this point.
Or no, that'd be 3.
Oh, okay.
That'd be 3.
Okay.
Then they catch up to the Interceptor, right? Jack breaks out and manages to join the fight and is immediately captured again, right? Then if you count the island, that would be another one, but it's kind of like,
kind of...
who knows?
Yeah.
That could be considered all part of them capturing him, you know? He gets out and he's rescued by Norrington and everybody.
Right.
And technically at that point he's captured again. But because
that was Elizabeth's plan, not his.
Right. And then because of Elizabeth basically negotiating, he's then used as like an ally, right? And then at that point, this is what's crazy. Then at that point, and you forget about this, but he then willingly goes back to the person who is his arch nemesis, the person
intentionally gets captured.
Intentionally basically gets captured, but even then I didn't count that because that was sort of all a part of the plan, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then when it's all said and done, he gets captured back
to be
by
hung.
Norrington to be hung, and then he escapes again. Like that is ridiculous. Like, they put all of that in the one movie for this character that we'd never heard about before. In Pirates movies, like,
they're generally bad.
And are generally just bad. Like, it was something that, like, just the idea of doing a Pirates movie was like, no, don't do that. And, I mean, Jack Sparrow is Pirates of the Caribbean for all intensive purposes.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. And what a way to introduce such a legendary character. All the acting and all the wonderful dialogue aside, just from a plot standpoint of the fact that he was captured 6 different times and manages to escape
and even at the
every
end,
time. And even at the end, he's still free.
He gives his little line, and they have him fall the same way Elizabeth did. And
like, that's... Like, and the ways that he gets, that he escapes
all
are just
comical
ridiculous.
Or random, or even like, maybe even genius on his part.
Right, you don't really know.
By getting in the heads of the other people.
And it's one of those things where Jack Sparrow has such a rule of cool,
right?
Even though everything is going badly for him, right?
He is kind of the anime protagonist that just kind of stumbles his way through, life, just cracking jokes and then just banking on the rule of cool aspect of his swagger. But you could almost see him put into an anime of sorts.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. He's so wacky. He totally fits the whole idea of the anime character. But just the idea of how basically nothing goes his way because of, like, he's just that awesome. It's always because of some clever thinking that he has to turn a bad situation around. And it's like, that's just absolutely amazing that they were able to do that in one film. And I think it just needs attention being drawn to.
This is a relevant question. What are some shows that you would enjoy a lot more if the pacing issues were fixed? I would say ReZero.
Yeah, I would also say Hunter x Hunter.
Sure.
Because you know, over just the long periods of time, my favorite parts are when the pacing is amazing, because they definitely exist.
Yeah, like the training of Greed Island, the York New arc almost entirely.
Yeah.
Specific parts within the Chimera Ant arc.
Because like the parts like where we're at now in Hunter x Hunter, or like the whole York New arc, like that was excellent, right?
In terms of pacing.
Yeah, if we could have that kind of pacing throughout, then the whole idea of rewatching 148 episodes, that would seem.
Yep. People are like, Pirates of the Caribbean? What?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, Johnny Depp career movie. Yep.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I think it's been 15 years since the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
15 years. Think about that.
Crazy.
Like, it's insane.
Like that. Yeah, that movie came out like when. Like, okay, so Star Wars was just kind of wrapping up and Lord of the Rings was coming back into the swing of things. And I think I was kind of open to the idea of watching a less like black and white kind of movie.
Sure.
The protagonist being more of a kind of a scoundrel. Mm-hmm. And this was not some Han Solo scoundrel ripoff.
Nope.
This was completely different. It looked like
you could see the similarities, but
this guy looked to be like permanently drunk and just had this weird just kind of way of talking.
Yep.
And I really think that in some ways we look back on specific films, and because they get sequeled to death, you end up kind of boiling all of them down to the kind of the median average.
Right.
And it's an unfortunate thing in Hollywood that great movies can get sequeled to death like that. But I think everything about Pirates of the Caribbean 1 is near like masterpiece level. There's actually a YouTube video that I would really recommend you guys watching. It's a video essay type video on YouTube called Pirates of the Caribbean: The Accidental Masterpiece. Definitely recommend checking it out. Exceptionally good insight into the movie overall. Geek Corner, Geek Corners WE. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Glad to have you here.
A bunch of people saying that, like, okay, let's be real. The real reason we watched Pirates of the Caribbean the first time was for Orlando Bloom. Oh, that's funny.
I mean,
because that was at the time when, like,
Lord of the Rings,
and Lord of the Rings, and
Lord of the Rings launched his career in a really strong way. He had done, I think, one thing before that, but it was his first blockbuster film. The first big budget film he had ever been on was Lord of the Rings, and by the time The Two Towers came out, he was already really popular. And then Pirates of the Caribbean just solidified it even more.
So if you could change one thing about Steins Gate, what would it be?
Steins Gate has a couple bits in the beginning with the Nyakat girl that seemed to be a bit slow, because they were still introducing the whole
how time travel works and the dynamics of the characters.
Yeah. You could tell that there was some visual novel bleed-in stereotypes that were a little clunky.
Yeah.
And I really say this as probably, if I had to choose an anime that I would recommend to everyone as like my favorite, because I don't have a number one favorite anime. My number one favorite show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
But I would say Steins Gate is the perfect anime for everyone. Like, everyone should see it. And I would say you get a lot out of Steins Gate the more anime you've watched.
Yes. And that's probably the big issue that I would change about it too, is that, there's the whole pacing bit in the beginning, which is fine if you're interested in the idea of time travel as a concept, but some of the anime tropes that they throw in there, and because of the slower pacing at the beginning, it can basically just be a bit of a higher barrier of entry if people aren't as into anime.
Yep, totally. I'd say there's some weird exceptions, like Steins Gate. We talk about this as if it's like one of the weirdest things, but our dad legitimately loved Steins Gate. We got him into it, and he fell in love with Mayuri. Like she was his first waifu.
He is low key an absolute weeb that will find waifus in shows. Like it was the same with Toradora. Like he was like, oh, Minori, she's just such an amazing character, you know.
He loves the wholesome, like loud characters.
Yeah, and especially if they're positive.
Yes, very wholesome, positive, and then loud characters with some kind of catchphrase or some kind of like just. Yeah.
Silly question from Mekashu. Erwin with the eyebrows of freedom in the Game of Thrones world. Would the throne be his too easily? Would the barrier fall easily like it did? I mean, he got some experience defending a giant wall.
I think that Erwin's main problem is that he doesn't really look at his own blind spots. I think that Erwin is scary once he has an army. Once Erwin has an army, he's scary. But the thing is, I don't see him doing that well in the political arena. I think that he would need to start off with something. He wouldn't.
Here's what he'd start off with.
Erwin couldn't Littlefinger his way to the top.
Right.
He would need to start off as the leader of a house.
Sure. He'd need to start off as a leader of the house.
Or like a son of a house leader, and then he eventually inherits it.
He just needs to start out with a Levi.
I mean, Erwin. But that's the thing. Erwin, recruited Levi.
Right.
So I think that he doesn't need to start off with one. He just needs to go and find people. Sure. He needs to find a squad.
And that's the thing that would be awesome about Erwin is he would go around recruiting people even from other houses. Like he would make alliances with people that wouldn't even have ever considered it.
That's the terrifying thing though, is that in that respect he puts just a little bit too much faith in them. Yeah. Because he has to be able to sacrifice them at some point, right?
Right, exactly.
But I don't know how he would do on the diplomacy side of things. So that's a fun question. That's pretty hilarious.
How's Battle Lines going? Or is there someone? Okay. No, you go. How's Battle Lines going? So, this is from Daw. Thank you for asking, Daw. It's going Daw. It is going quite well. There's a lot of just things happening. I'm talking with someone about music. Which is pretty cool. I will save most of the details for that.
So how do you implement music into a physical book, Jacob?
Right, exactly. Well,
tell me more.
The obvious answer is you don't, but one of my absolute favorite things to do is to listen to music while I'm doing pretty much anything. That includes reading, also while I'm writing.
Okay.
So I may be working on commissioning some music for the story to be hype building, of course, but also just to be some good background music for while you're reading.
DX Saoshi, that's a good question. So slowing down the pace of benefits sometime like in Hunter x Hunter, it helps build characters of the world of the powers. So
it absolutely can.
The thing about the pacing of Hunter x Hunter that we had an issue with was not the actual speed, but what they did when they slowed down the pacing.
Right, exactly.
There were a couple moments where the story slowed down the pacing so dramatically for something that wasn't character or plot building enough. It was something that lowered our expectations of the oncoming story.
Right.
And Hunter x Hunter was a roller coaster of just all kinds of, awesome, cool stuff that we ended up just really loving. Yeah. But there were moments in the earlier arcs, the Heaven's Arena, the Hunter's exam arc, where it was just like, okay. And I think that's the thing, is that Hunter x Hunter has 140 something episodes?
148.
Yeah. There are probably 6 episodes you could cut out of Hunter x Hunter. But the thing is, I wouldn't cut any more.
Right. Most of the time when we talk about the pace being slow, what we're really meaning is that in the parts where they decided to take their time, because when you're dealing with a story that's on that scope, of course you'll take your time.
Of course. And most of them were really good.
Most of them were fantastic. Yeah. Like the slow episodes with Killua and Gon, fantastic. We love them, right? Yeah. They're some of our favorite episodes.
For sure.
But there were some episodes where it took it a bit slower and they didn't focus on Gon and Killua. They didn't focus on those things that we would hope they would focus on during the slower moments.
Yeah, that was, I think, one of the only problems we had with Greed Island was the amount of characters they introduced that we could tell weren't going to mean anything in the grand scheme of the story.
Yeah, and that whole thing could have been solved by just having Gon and Killua interacting with the bomber more throughout the plot, and then suddenly the whole thing's solved.
Or not only that, just having the bomber actually just getting more focus overall. You know, just taking out some of their, their rivals, some of the rivals that went to the island, and just make the bomber a protagonist of his own story more so. Because he
totally was. And the end fight was fantastic.
The end fight was fantastic, but yeah. Oh, Ryan H. Cheers with 500 bits.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
You're too kind, bro.
Bum, bum,
If you wanted to create an anime universe like the Marvel movies, which 3 anime would you cross over?
Oh, boy. Okay. Haruhi for one, because I would always just have that in there.
Yeah, that's a perfect crossover initial bit, but then we need some world for her to conquer that's a fantasy world.
So, Attack on Titan could work, but...
Yeah, she would be like the Lord of all Titans.
Right, but she would almost break that world, so you would almost want one that's more like high fantasy or something like that.
Okay, in terms of anime, I've never really seen a high fantasy anime.
What if...
that wasn't some kind of weird isekai.
What about Berserk?
No.
Because too much like gritty realism and stuff.
Yeah, I would actually really want something like, let's actually take ReZero. Let's take an isekai. That's a decent one.
Sure.
And we could explain that she is actually the witch, the one that put the curse on what's his name? Kazuma, but what?
No, but that's where
that's where you're going with Konosuba?
Yeah, even better. You take Haruhi, pull it into Konosuba, and Haruhi is the Demon King.
Oh my gosh. And she's just a person that reincarnated over here and ended up acquiring minions and stuff.
Right, exactly. Or she just created this. At some point, she destroyed the universe and created this one instead.
Oh, so that is the universe that people are jumping into.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's so
and then
sick.
What would be the other anime that you would put into that?
Something really random just to get some cool characters in there.
Okay.
I would say you'd want characters that really want something. Like characters that just... They don't really care about their environment. They'll just go after something. Like Kill la Kill characters.
Yeah, no, actually, I was thinking Kill la Kill. Just put Kill la Kill in there. Yeah. That would be excellent. It would be fantastic. It would be so good.
Yeah, you'd get basically the Trigger type madness just going into that.
Oh, yeah.
And Haruhi would have to face off against Satsuki and her horde.
Exactly. And then there'd be all the Konosuba comedy. And
well, it would use the Konosuba like fighting system,
exactly.
Where they would all have to level up and stuff.
It would be so good.
That would be really funny.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter question. Some say that they want moral complexity added to Hisoka. However, I strongly believe that he's already perfect. Giving him unneeded depth would ruin what makes him such a fun character, his unpredictability and chaos factor. Do you agree and or disagree?
I absolutely agree.
I think that Hisoka is not meant to be the deepest character in Hunter x Hunter.
Right. He's just meant to be one of the most fun characters.
Not even in the top 3 or 4. I think that Hisoka's thing is that when he is open and vulnerable a little bit, like with Machi, I loved that.
Those scenes are great.
What you should be seeing is that he's internally consistent. I don't want to actually have some dramatic reveal about him that's an actual contradiction, because he's so over the top that I feel like if we were to look inside and find out how much of it is kind of an act, it would weaken the gravitas and charisma of his character.
Okay, so I truly know what you mean. For a long time, nothing could fill the Haikyuu hole in my heart. For a long time, I found something that is Hajime no Ippo.
We are very much aware that Hajime no Ippo is basically
considered to be like the other
greatest,
Haikyuu.
the other greatest, sports anime ever.
Yeah.
But hey Jacob, since you're really interested in anime movies like A Silent Voice, there's a new movie coming out called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Wait, what?
Which is based off an award-winning book and premiering in American theaters from October 21st or so. I was wondering if anyone ever told you about it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
No one has ever told me about that before. My thoughts. I would be okay. That's a thing. Only in anime, I guess.
That's hilarious. Oh, add timestamps to your book for battle lines so I can listen to the parts during the hype. Listen to music parts during the hype parts. That's funny. Oh, music for the audiobook version featuring the voice of Jacob.
Okay, so I would be lying if I said that if I said that the reason for me wanting to do the Crispin Freeman voice workshops and stuff had nothing to do with wanting to be able to do an excellent Battle Lines audiobook. So
you can connect the dots there. Doesn't take much.
That is something that I have absolutely never done before, and that is something that I don't want to get in the way of like first finishing the book,
right,
you know?
Right,
so
exactly.
That'll be the thing that comes next. But yes, that is something that I very much want to do, and having music to go along with that, even though I know nothing about like audio mixing or whatever, that would be
fantastic.
Awesome.
Lux in Canon 76 has just followed. Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
We have Almond Joy Milk just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Glad to have you here. Make sure to check out the sub room for an invite to our Discord.
That would be the perfect way to fix almond milk. Just make it be almond joy milk.
Keep in mind that Hunter x Hunter is a long-running manga. Like with JoJo, the artist grows over the years and his manga discovers and gets more comfortable with its identity.
Oh, absolutely.
This is actually the main strength of Hunter x Hunter, is that it uses the discovery-based storytelling format.
Yep.
This is something that 90... something, the stats are stupid, but the point is that most writers don't even touch this style because it's something that is extremely hard to keep continuity within.
Right.
Like, really hard. Most writers write with, like, the outline. They plan the beginning, middle, and end all from the get-go. Now, the thing is about this is that most of these writers then get hired for Hollywood movies, and then they have to recycle the outline for the sequels and then do it like 5 more times so they can make tons of money, and then the Transformers movies happen and you just
that whole issue with
that stuff just kind of pisses me off. Marlo Malone, welcome to the SOS Brigade. Thank you so much for the follow.
You.
Glad to have you here.
Will there be a JoJo podcast once you guys finish part 3?
I mean,
I would imagine it would raise some questions.
Yeah, but, we're going to talk about general stuff more or less on the Twitch podcast now, keeping it kind of on a base on specific
Here we
things.
go.
What?
Sleepy Hungry at questions, 2 of them. 1, pineapple on pizza. 2, milk and coffee. That's all. Pineapple on pizza? Absolutely. Don't listen to anyone that tells you otherwise. It doesn't have to go on pizza, but it is excellent on pizza. Sweet and savory is one of the best combinations you can have on food, and pineapple plays one piece in that amazing puzzle.
I'm going to go on a limb here and actually say that the reason why pineapple on pizza does work in very specific pizzas is because the pineapple should not be placed into the oven with the pizza. If you're making the pizza yourself, I'm not talking about buying some going out there and getting the pizza and stuff. Pineapple that's room temperature or a little bit cold, and you put that on hot pizza, it's amazing. I'm just gonna say, warm pineapple that mushes and just disgusting.
Oh yeah.
No. But milk and coffee, that's something that might blow your mind, but we're not coffee drinkers.
Nope. Yeah, so our answer to that is no coffee.
Just
milk.
Yeah, we're kind of health nuts, but the thing is we get our caffeine from, generally like better sources. And there's nothing bad really about a small amount of coffee or just well-sourced coffee beans.
It's just disgusting.
It's just, it's gross. And we just have really good caffeine sources.
Yeah.
Clickbait, bro, gotta get with the times. The Pancreas movie is pretty normal. It just has a really unique title.
Okay, that's interesting.
Great. Semblance of Sanity. I want to eat your pancreas isn't what it sounds like. It's an idiom that is explained in the movie. It's a character drama. Also, just throwing a random sports recommendation. Slam Dunk. It's an older sports classic, albeit the anime doesn't finish the story, so the manga might be a better bet. We have heard many great things about the Slam Dunk manga. So there you go.
And all of Elon Musk's tweets about anime. Oh yeah,
I love anime just now. Oh my god.
Talking about Elon needing Musk to build a mecha and
he might be losing it, guys. And the thing is that I'm kind of bummed that he is maybe losing it. But the thing is that
he's losing it in probably one of the better ways.
In one of the most entertaining, brilliant ways. He is creating more weebs than like any other celebrity probably could.
Think about it. He has the money to actually potentially create cat girls. Like it could happen,
Please, somebody clip that and like send it to him. Like,
tell us about Ping Pong. What are your overall thoughts and predictions? I mean, it's a great show.
Animation,
music is fantastic,
but
animation is very fluid. Well,
Tsukimoto's internal world.
But like the fact that his name's Tsukimoto, voiced by Suki, his character is very similar to Suki. Like, and
he's going to go on a character arc, like Suki, kind of.
And that apparently this came out before.
No, right around the same time.
That was right.
Right around the same
season
as Haikyuu season 1.
As Haikyuu season 1, and Suki's development didn't really come till later. So like, that's just.
Yep.
That's just crazy.
Continuity, rip JoJo. Yeah, basically, that's something that I could totally see being a problem for Araki.
Yeah. The war is on, Jacob. Oh yeah, because of the fact that I like pineapple on pizza. Ban Jacob.
Well, see, here's the thing. Have any of you guys been to Mod Pizza? Because if you can create your own pizza with every single topping and stuff, let me tell you, like, putting pineapple on the, 12, 15 toppings pizza, that, like, gets all the right flavors, pineapple can just be that nice little refreshing sweetness and stuff. So, yeah. Where do you get your caffeine sources? I need to know the source of your healthy power. So, you need to focus really on getting, like, really good, like, green tea stuff, and not in lots of amounts, but then it's not even really caffeine.
Yeah, it's just vitamin B.
So vitamin B6 and vitamin B12 are like unfair.
Oh yeah.
Like it's actually unfair. Like Jacob and I talk about it, but there's basically ways that there's tons of things out there that'll have vitamin B6 and vitamin B12, but you want to have a small, like, consistent stream of that going into your system in the morning and night, or just in the morning.
Yep.
And like this might turn into a health stream just in a little bit, but we can save that for another one. Like if you're interested in us talking about health and stuff, we can talk about that a little bit later. But the way we have so much energy on a consistent basis and we're always pretty positive is just we are putting in really good food into our system, and vitamin B6 and vitamin B12 is just an unfair advantage to the stressed out world out there. Like, if you are stressed, vitamin B6, vitamin B12. Like, if you need to be more energized, but not like throwing down energy drinks, which we do not recommend.
Energy that doesn't have crashes and everything.
Yeah, vitamin B6, vitamin B12. Yep.
There are so many times where I've been like, I don't want to write, right? I just feel like crap, and I do not want to write at all. Just the idea of sitting down in the chair just feels awful. And then it's like, okay, all right, let's just take a swig of basically concentrated vitamin B. And then I feel all right, and I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Child mod is so good.
Yeah,
caught up on Critical Role. Every time I hear a reference, I grin like crazy. Also.
So yes, I'm caught. Well, okay, I didn't watch the first campaign. I watched like certain episodes and stuff, but I am caught up on the second campaign, and that is actually one of the things we were going to talk about, guys. If you're interested in Critical Role, or like you're into D&D or whatever, this week might be one of the best weeks to start because Thursday 7 p.m. PST. But yeah, Laura Bailey. If you don't know who she is, have you been living under a rock? But she's going to be doing a one-shot, her first one-shot ever on the channel this Thursday. So, I mean, the story of the second campaign is great. It's in a very intense spot right now, but they're having her do her first one-shot, and that's going to be amazing. I can only imagine. Yeah. So, watch that. I watch it all the time. And
Twitch.tv/Critical Role. Go check it out.
Yeah, exactly. It's wonderful.
They're not still on the Geek and Sundry Twitch channel, are they?
Geek and Sundry is Geek and Sundry has it, but the Critical Role people are actually starting to like acquire it from Geek and Sundry. It's really cool to see them do it.
Give Critical Role a follow on Twitch if you haven't. It's worth it even if you're not going to watch everything they put out. Right. Because one, their Twitch is still growing because they separated from
Geek and Sundry. They host Geek and Sundry for the watching, since Geek and Sundry's still doing it, but like they do the giveaway on there and stuff. But it's great, it's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Ransom32 for Jacob. You said you enjoy Kudere characters. List a few Kuderes you've seen, Decim and Violet to name a couple, and what specifically about them or their arcs you really enjoy.
I mean, his main one, main girl.
Yeah, Decim and Violet, of course. But then also, and you didn't mention this, so I'm thinking you need to watch this, but Yuki Nagato from the Haruhi franchise, specifically after you've seen the disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya movie.
Yep.
So that is basically her arc is what I would use that as like the definition of excellent Kudere character arcs, because
to be fair though, you will not get a good experience with her character without the movie. Right. So you need to watch the
movie
show.
Is very different from the show,
and then watch the movie.
Yeah, and then go rewatch the show, because that's where you can see.
You don't necessarily need to rewatch the show.
If you love the show, then like rewatching it, it's like a whole new experience.
Right. But Haruhi is like a drug to him. It's one of his favorite anime. For me, I'm less hype about it, so maybe take his opinion with a grain of salt and just hear me when I say that he's right in that you need to watch all of it. You might not necessarily watch all of Endless 8, but But the character of Yuki Nagato is nothing without the movie. So to bring it down a little bit, is it's not going to be this thing of where you see this character development necessarily in the show. It's once you watch the movie, you realize some context for what was going on, and then the things that they were showing, they're there, they're just extremely subtle. You're like, oh, whoa, I get it.
And it's fantastic. It's amazing.
Makes it pretty cool,
Yeah, but everything they're doing with Violet is fantastic. Everything they did with Decken was wonderful. Well,
vitamin B6 and vitamin B12 cure my crippling depression. Probably not.
No, but
it's not going to hurt.
It's not going to hurt. And here's another thing. Physical like body like posture and just how your body is like being held and everything is a big deal, right? If you're smiling for a long time, well with like, they mentioned crippling depression, but
I know, but there's there's diagnosed depression things that
Yes. Yeah,
I think you're more talking about like mood.
Well,
it's both. I know.
I would say both, but
I know. But this is more of a good thing to go when you need just to pick me up in the midst of your depression. Coming from someone who's been depressed on and off for many years, but not diagnosed or anything. In order to pick up your mood, in order to get, I would say, back onto a track where you can move forward. Doing these little things like Jacob is suggesting is important. So, eating right, sleeping right, posture, and just, tricking yourself into it can all help.
One of the things that sounds really weird, but striking a Superman pose. Actually, like, I'm serious now. You strike a Superman pose, and once you stop being embarrassed at the fact that you're striking a Superman pose, it starts to, you start to sort of like just laugh, and it works. Yeah. Or at least it works for me, but yeah.
How would you compare part 3 to part 2? I'm watching along with you guys, and part 3 seems to be going longer than it needs to for me.
I would say 2, yeah.
But I would say that the better thing about part 3 specifically is that the journey is, I would say, simpler and just kind of we're building up towards basically just a hype confrontation. With part 2, I wasn't really excited about cars until like the very last second, and even the whole MacGuffin side of things is a little bit contrived. The thing about part 2 that kills it are the side characters.
Well, and Joseph.
I mean, Joseph, yes, obviously, but I meant like Joseph with the side characters.
Right, Joseph with Caesar, Joseph with Lisa,
Lisa,
with Wamu,
Wamu. Yes. They're just amazing.
Eric WWW Walt. Guys, I need to start another anime pick for me. Haikyuu, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, A Place Further Than the Universe, or Kill la Kill. I would say A Place Further Than the Universe because it's the
shortest one.
And then you can get on to the other ones.
Yeah. The other thing is that all 3 of the other ones have an action-type focus. Place Further Than the Universe is just wholesome, perfect goodness.
And if you haven't seen something like that is able to knock it out of the park without action, then I would very much want you to see your first one.
Yeah.
That way it's like just another layer.
Yeah, for sure.
Jacob,
I prefer playing D&D over watching and listening to it. Yeah, makes sense.
I totally get that.
Totally get you. Like Jacob plays twice a week.
Yeah,
pretty consistently because
I love playing it. But you would be. I thought it was like stupid too. The idea of like watching people play D&D. Like, how can that be fun, right? Yeah. And I started just like. I would like see like the occasional like highlight, and I'd be like, okay, that's really funny. And then before I knew it, I watched the 5.5 hour final fight of campaign 1, and I was just like, okay, all right, I guess this is happening.
Consistent natural sources of vitamin B6, vitamin B12. Well, I think the question is what are your definitions of natural?
Right.
If you're going in it and you're getting a multivitamin that just gives you vitamin B6, vitamin B12, as long as there's just no random fillers in it, it's natural because, vitamins and minerals.
Yeah.
So I would say generally you can look there. There's plenty of ways to get that. We
drink like a juice that just has a bunch crammed in there.
Yeah, I would say looking for a liquid form might be a little bit more of an immediate effect. Like you'll feel it quicker.
Oh, okay. So Wally 15, now that you guys are watching Violet Evergarden, do you see it as a potential contender to a place further in the universe for anime of the year?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it has a couple story problems that limit it, though.
Yeah, like when I think about a place further in the universe, the only episode where I wasn't blown away was like episode 4.
Sure.
But like...
That was the brother and sister, right?
No, Place Further in the Universe.
Oh, Place Further in the Universe, right.
And that was the one where they were doing, like, the training for, like, the Antarctic stuff, and it was still good.
Every other episode was amazing.
It was just consistently blowing me away, and like, they both have such high emotional moments that, like, yes, I definitely see why you were saying this, because it totally makes sense.
But
Visuals, Violet Evergarden completely blows it away, and that's not saying Place Further in the Universe is bad.
Right.
But I think it's more of just the idea that, Violet Evergarden... It's a very specific type of show, right? And you have to sort of be in the mood for that kind of show in order to really enjoy it. Whereas, like, with something like A Place Further in the Universe, I feel like it does a much better job at sort of making you like it.
Yes, that's true.
Even if you were kind of skeptical, you know? Because we were skeptical at the beginning, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure. Did you ever watch the second season of Psycho-Pass? No, we did not.
We did not, yeah.
We had a lot of people just saying, just don't watch it. You're good. You've got other things you can watch. Well, I watched you guys Made in Abyss reactions, and now I'm scared and happy at the same time. Atomic, glad that you watched reactions to that. That is a very trying experience, and
it is.
You have done well.
Yep. Oh, man.
Talking about roleplay, have you heard of roleplay from Time JP channel? It's basically launched live D&D roleplay on Twitch and does various systems. He also uploads all of it on YouTube.
I think I've heard of that. That's the guy that has the crazy hair with the side shave, right? And he made Burning Wheel.
Lala-sun. We already did an Attack on Titan podcast last week, so you can go check out the VOD on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So check that out. Since the Avatar Netflix series is coming, what anime have you reacted to or are currently reacting to would you like to see in a Netflix series format? Besides Haikyuu, of course, because that's obvious. Are you meaning like some kind of live-action remake? Because I think the only thing that I would want are like canceled shows or like finished shows to get like sequels and basically have Netflix basically just take the reins from it and hire all the people back that did the original thing and stuff. I could say like a second season of Bacano. I didn't like the OVAs really in general, so I don't count them as being canon in my mind. Like you can tell the lack of effort put into those. Kind of disappointing. But I think that in some ways, even though I talk a lot of crap about it, I think ReZero deserves a sequel. But I would prefer a little bit more put into it. So if it means that they need to make it into smaller one-cour seasons and then do a lot of them Netflix style, where they would have them more frequently, but not as long, so that they can go in depth into the arcs that they need to give proper attention to.
Because the biggest issue with the ending of ReZero that we had was not what it decided to do, because that could have worked, but that in the context of the rest of the show, it just didn't feel like it was like it
should have ended. It should have ended earlier, and then they should have saved that for season 2. So
something else that they could do after like properly building it up to it, so we're invested in what's going on and things like that.
Totally. We're currently watching Kill la Kill. Something I really wanted to talk about, and this is a pretty cool thing to bring up. Is we're loving the connections and connotations to its predecessor, Gurren Lagann, and you see a lot of crossover in terms of ideas and stuff. But you see a lot of evolution of some of the ideas that came from Gurren Lagann.
And it's really weird to think about, but like I find myself kind of liking Kill la Kill more than Gurren Lagann. And it feels like I'm cheating on Gurren Lagann to say that. I mean, come on. It's Gurren Lagann. But like it's just so good.
It's so good. It is a different energy of a show. There is something about the manic nature of Kill la Kill that doesn't translate over exactly into Gurren Lagann. Gurren Lagann, you can actually feel the machismo from every joining of giant robots and mecha. And
right. I feel like with Gurren Lagann, because of when it came out, because it came out in 2007, right? That's 11 years ago. That's a long time ago.
Totally.
Anime in general were very different back then.
Yes.
I feel like Gurren Lagann basically it did a lot of the same kind of things that Kill la Kill did, but that aspect of the wackiness and the craziness and the manicness of it isn't as timeless because it was set to the tone and the backdrop of what anime was like back then.
Yeah.
Whereas with something like Kill la Kill, they realized that worked for Gurren Lagann, so then they decided to dial it up to 11, right? And just totally bank on it and double down on what, one of the aspects that made, I would say all the aspects really of what made Gurren Lagann good, right? Because they have the manicness, they have the hypeness, they have the inspirational bits, and just all the hype, right, that show had.
Right. And I think they also solved a couple of the pacing issues.
Yes.
There is a noticeable drop-off from episode 3 to 4 of Kill la Kill.
Sure,
episode 4 of Kill la Kill is almost forgettable, but...
much better than episode 4 of Gurren Lagann.
That is a great point, yes. Gurren Lagann has some episodes in the beginning that are they don't hold up.
Like episode 4 specifically, the animation was just all whack.
Yeah. But putting them next to each other, it's something where we're excited, even more so, I'd say, for Kill la Kill, because we realize how crazy Gurren Lagann, went by the end of 25 episodes.
Yeah.
So Kill la Kill, if it's anything like that, it's kind of getting us meta excited about story we haven't seen yet. So that's just also, I would say, a benefit to how they structured the first 3 episodes by telling us what kind of story and what kind of excitement, hype, craziness we're going to be getting as time goes on.
The main thing I'm looking forward to with Kill la Kill is to see how they match some of the especially high-impact moments of Gurren Lagann.
Yes. No spoilers here.
Yeah, no spoilers here, because this is... I think that's the number 1 worst spoiler that you could ever get in an anime.
It's in like top 3 or 5.
The
Gurren Lagann spoiler, yeah.
But I'm really interested to see how Kill la Kill will try and accomplish that same kind of feeling. Because
they might do something completely different.
They might. They totally could.
And I think that Kill la Kill has ways that it can pull the rug out from under us in a hype way.
Yes.
That would end up being more of an impactful twist for the characters, and I would say actually not as much the characters, but more so for the plot. Like with Gurren Lagann, there's a lot of deep character stuff that happens in the second half that's really good.
Yeah,
like
but the plot
kind
is
of things
basically non-existent.
Timeless, yes. It's something where it boils down to getting into bigger and bigger robots and smashing the thing with your gigantic drill.
Yeah, exactly.
No metaphors here at all.
And not like there's any metaphors in Kill la Kill. Not at all.
No.
Of course not. That'd be silly.
Right.
But like and I guess that's one of the ways that we could know that we're in good hands, because one of the things that you can that you probably should be worried about is if a story is ever copying exactly what another story did, because some of the things that story did, your story won't be able to do the same way. And if you try to do them the same way, it won't fit, because the story is fundamentally still different.
Yeah.
So, the whole idea of the Gurren Lagann spoiler, there might not be an equivalent. And that's fine, because they'll do something else that'll, fit Kill la Kill better.
Captain Wool Easley, thank you so much for the follow.
Yes.
Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Glad to have you here.
Okay, Little Duck. I have 1 week to write a short story, and all I have so far is a setting. I could really use some advice for crafting a short story that lends itself to the setting.
Oh, okay. So the crazy thing is that I think you're doing this the wrong way. It's okay, but starting with the setting for a short story is kind of tricky.
Yeah, because for a short story in particular, because you can totally do it.
You can reverse engineer this. Here's what you do. You have the setting, right? If the setting is where you started off with, you need to now go to the conflict.
Right, which is always going to be based around characters.
Right, but the thing is that you can put in the conflict without going into specifics on the characters yet. and then craft the perfect characters for that conflict.
Yeah, the characters might come from the conflict. Like if you decide you have this setting that's, I don't know, a fantasy setting, right? Or some sort of isekai setting, right?
Well, let's go really like basic, like and detailed, like something like
basic and detailed.
Basically, mean like at a library. She's saying a short story.
Sure.
So I'm assuming very short.
Yeah, you're at a library, and maybe this library is a library specifically for manga. I don't know, and then you have the conflict be someone doesn't know how to, like, they don't have a library card and they don't know what the process is, and
they don't know where to find
nervous
something.
and anxious and all that stuff, and whatever. And then the character comes from that conflict.
Yeah. That's a way that you can reverse engineer it. Usually we would go character, conflict, then setting.
Right.
But you can do it however way you want. Have you guys read the graphic novel Why the Last Man? No,
nope.
We have not. Canceled shows revived by Netflix. Bleach it is then. Tasukete Kurosaki-kun!
Oh my god.
That part, like... But it was still a good moment.
It was still a good moment,
Yeah.
even though, like, we absolutely hated in a way.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Ghost in the Shell movie and or show?
I've seen.
Yes.
I've seen
for the most part.
You're talking about the live action movie, right?
Yeah.
I've seen the original movie and the live action movie.
Right. Scissoring confirmed is superior to drilling. Basically, Lyria. I mean, we swing a specific way. So I mean, those Ryuko transformation sequences, just wondering if you'll react to Mob Psycho right away, or does it have to win a poll?
We'll never react to Mob Psycho
We'll
because we've already
see.
seen it. Oh, right, but season 2's coming.
It's talking about season 2, yeah.
That's right, yeah, season 2, yeah.
Yeah, we have seen Mob Psycho season 1 already. In fact, I introduced him to Mob Psycho season 1.
He did, yeah. Good job. Oh, okay, Gooey. Maiden Abyss, Your Lie in April, Violet Evergarden. What's next on the docket for soul-crushing anime?
I don't know.
I love soul-crushing anime. If it doesn't make me cry, I almost feel like something might be missing. It can supplant that with enough comedy, but that's just one of those things that I absolutely love. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
A couple OSTs though that made me absolutely it destroyed me again.
Take your mouse for now.
Okay. Absolutely destroyed me was the Wolf Children OST. I listened to that while I was writing, and that
good feels.
That just ripped me to pieces.
Oof.
And then also Trisha's Lullaby from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That song, it just teleports me right back to the show.
For real.
And Waterworks.
Oh, Lyria says, my main critique with Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann is that upon discovering Mako in Kill la Kill, they didn't retroactively write her into Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann as well. That's true. There is no... no. Kamina is...
sort of the Mako because he's the hype man and he is sort of the expositor and stuff.
Expositor.
Yeah, it's not a direct
comparison. But Mako is in a league of her own.
Mako, yeah.
The biggest plus for Gurren Lagann over Kill la Kill for me is that Mako isn't in Gurren Lagann.
You shut your mouth, Ollie.
All right, that's Civil War, Oh, Plastic Memories will crush you.
Okay, I have heard a lot.
I have heard a lot about Plastic Memories as well. Yeah,
we've had that on a couple of polls, but it just never won.
I haven't seen Anohana, and you've said that's a pretty feelsy.
Oh yeah,
show.
that one though is surprisingly a very positive feelsy. Like it will destroy you, but at the same time you will have so much warm and fuzzy feelings in your heart that it's just wonderful.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Have you read the Usagi Drop manga?
What manga? There is no manga.
This is the one with the thing that must not be talked about, right?
There is no manga.
Distraction. Senato99 just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, and welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Yeah.
Make sure to check out the sub-only channel for your Discord invite.
Yeah, a lot of short stories do work perfectly based on the setting. Yeah, because it can lend itself to an easy conflict and premise that the characters are sort of.
Right. I think that generally I look at things from a character bit where the character's mind is generally the best setting to start with anyway for a short story.
I literally did that for the one short story I ever wrote for a creative writing class.
That was basically
I basically did the Inside Out movie before
Inside Out was
any
a thing.
news about that or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course I did it in a completely different way.
Right.
But because of the setting of the internal state of someone's mind, and then that because of that, the characters and the conflict and everything came from it. So.
Oh yes, Aluna. We know about March Comes In Like a Lion. That's been on a poll recently, and I think it got second place.
Oh, and In This Corner of the World, We've already seen it. It's wonderful. I introduced it to Caleb, and we watched it during on the Discord with some of the VIPs.
Yeah,
and it was wonderful. No one had seen it. They didn't know anything about it. Tears. They just destroyed them.
Shed.
Like I mean, I cried again, like messy tears on rewatch.
It was rough. Yeah. Jacob feels something missing when he doesn't cry. Masochist confirmed.
That's right. I am actually darkness. Yeah.
Wolfgang's just subscribed to Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for the sub, and welcome to the SOS Brigade. Yes. Make sure to check out the sub-only channel for a Discord invite.
Yeah.
Destroy you and rebuild you again. Alchemy style. Yes. In case you wanted to know, the setting is a desert of silver-colored sand, and there's a constant thunderstorm circling above, and dispersed about are giant spiky pillars of glass.
Ooh, nice.
Wow. So is this something where you are doing a short story where, like, let's talk about scope of short story here. Are you talking short story where you have multiple conflicts? Or are you talking short story where it's like...
usually short stories will just be one conflict.
Right,
Like if you go into like novella, territory, then...
are you talking like 50 pages or 5 pages? Like, I'm trying to get a grip here for what your definition of short story is. I know there's a universal kind of set of parameters with regards to a short story, but because this is, I believe, for an assignment... I would think it would be really short.
Yeah, I mean, generally shorter is better. Keep it simple, because short story again, short and sweet. Not that that's easy to do, but
yeah. Favorite book? I don't really have a favorite book.
Favorite book is mine. I mean, because that is kind of the book that I always wanted to make. Not that it's
and
better.
And you spent the most time with it.
Yeah, I've spent the most time with it.
All books in your life,
you
spent definitely way more time with it than any other.
Yeah, these characters, I
have a couple book recommendations. I've recently reread The Go-Giver. This is a very small, short book that I would say is just a good mindset helping book. It's not some kind of self-help crap or...
I mean, it kind of is. It's a sort of like parable
but
sort
it's
of thing.
So vague and... Well, I mean, it's not really vague.
It's more of just talking about like a mindset shift.
Yeah. It's a very helpful book for me to read. So I recommend it. I don't have a favorite book though.
Anna made me feel empty for a whole week. What do you mean? Sobs. Anna's great.
Just got here, so don't know if someone who said this already, but they should definitely check out Run with the Wind and or that one time I got reincarnated as a slime.
We keep hearing about that slime one, and it blows me away.
Yeah.
Oh, what about After the Rain for an emotional show? We've heard a lot of good things about that.
Yes.
That is on our radar. I want to watch that show.
15 pages maximum. Gotcha. I wanted to focus on one character who goes out in the desert to harness the lightning. Very fun.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Cool.
So I would have them fail a lot.
Well, and also because it's a short story, you can't really like talk about like the rules of this world or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can go with the more mystical angle for it, which I'm guessing is what you're going for. You can do a lot of cool things in there and tie it to the character themselves.
Yes.
Who they are, their weaknesses, strengths, and all that.
And there's what's that little short story about the guy in the storm and
To Build a Fire.
Yeah. There's ways that you can make the storm, aka the lightning thing, a character and not just an environment piece, like something that feels alive and something that even in some ways the character can talk to and since they don't get a response back in a literal sense, there's really good monologue dialogue that you can put in there. So there's a lot of fun things I would say you can do with that. As long as you make the struggle feel very gripping, like make the struggle really like a big part of it.
People are now debating whether Plastic Memories or Angel Beats is better.
All right. Any chance for Overlord? At the very least, I would say Overlord is coming post Kill la Kill.
Yeah, if there is, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say wait until Kill la Kill is over.
And then let's talk.
There's a very real chance Overlord will happen.
Yeah.
Will you guys be reacting to anything from the current anime season? I don't know. What's in the SAO? Funny joke.
Well, actually, we probably wouldn't want to do that because I hear that's going to be like 50-something episodes.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But the weird thing is that the one that seems to stand out the most that is actually that slime one.
I've heard a lot of interesting things. Yeah,
Goblin Slayer, maybe to check it out. Test the waters and armor. I mean,
actually, that's a good question, guys. If Goblin Slayer is a controversial one, but it's popular, like a lot of people are talking about it, should we react to it and basically give it like a 3-episode try, and that could be a type of reaction slot that we do, where it's basically like, hey, we'll react to this for a little bit, but only for like very specific shows that are like that fit this kind of parameter, where it's like people want us to react to it. It's not necessarily something that we would, like go after, and then we reserve the right to basically say, hey, if after X number of episodes we don't want to watch it, we'll just throw it away.
And the main reason,
what do you guys think about
that we've been like talking about amongst each other for that is because it's still airing.
Yeah.
So we don't know how it's going to be as a whole, right? Yeah. So if there was some other show that was like that, where it was very controversial and had things like that, then we could just ask people who had seen it and be like, hey, do you think we would enjoy this? And then they can tell us, right?
Yeah.
But with something like this, because it's not done, you can't really do that.
They won't do seasonals like Slime because they let it finish to be sure it doesn't flop. Example, Darling in the Franxx.
That's kind of Darling in the Franxx.
That's kind of similar, but the thing is, we weren't even interested in checking out Darling in the Franxx because we just heard about butt controls in Mecha, and we're like, well, that sounds dumb.
No, see, now I'm wishing that I had been watching Darling in the Franxx, so that I could in the conversation, so I could be in the conversation about the hype of it, because there must have been some things that it did really well, before they did whatever pissed off the community so much.
Gooey Engineer saying, like Zuko screaming at a thunderstorm on a mountaintop, "You've never held back before! Strike me!" Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great example.
Yeah, I know a lot of people think that part was kind of overacted.
Well, no, but that's just because,
I know.
Okay.
They don't get Zuko.
They don't get Zuko, and what I think it really is, when people have issues with that, is because they don't want to remember the times where they were like that.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's
yelled out
exactly like that
night,
or similar.
I don't know.
We all
go try it. It's actually
moments.
It feels great, even if you're an adult.
It does. Yeah. You can get some weird looks from the neighbors, but
no, just go out, drive somewhere, find somewhere that's pretty empty, and you'll be fine. Can you guys put March Comes In Like a Lion on the poll after Violet Evergarden plus Feels End made by Shaft? Probably. I would say Violet Evergarden's a good drama type story that could benefit from a poll that's similar to it. But yeah, I mean, we were thinking of having shows like that be even after Ping Pong, the animation or something.
Right, because we love crying.
Yeah, for sure. Goblin Slayer is just Kame ga Kill 2.0. Ouch.
Well, that's another reason why a 3-episode thing could potentially work.
That'd be great.
Might make some people upset, but
hey, that could be our roast and anime. We've always thought about doing.
Right, but the inherent issue with the whole idea of the roast and anime thing is that a lot of times it becomes something where then you're just looking for the bad things and not acknowledging the things that it does do well.
And we can find plenty of good things, I'm sure, in this
between
show.
the roasting if we ended up just not liking it.
But maybe that's what we could do. We could just go through a Kame ga Kill and roast that, because,
Sure. Yeah.
SAO or Black Clover. I wonder which will win the worst anime of the year. By the way, Goblin Slayer will tell you if it's for you after one episode. Okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
We will not be reacting to Twitch with regards to anime.
Yeah.
So, no. Slime is in my top 3 of this season so far, but I'm still holding off on truly shifting it to you guys, or shilling it to you guys, because it's too core and the worst could still happen at any time.
Yeah. When it's a 2-core show, it's like, Yeah,
you could have a Let's Try series where you watch the first episode or 2.
Yeah.
It's in one go, maybe, before moving on. We'll see.
Try Banana Fish.
We like to be consistent, though.
Banana Fish is...
No, Banana Fish, I've actually heard really good things about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I know why you're hesitant.
I mean, not that I'm against it, but it's more of like the thing of, is that something that we're the target audience for? If that makes sense.
I've heard it's still pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, yes. I am still sad that Darling in the Franxx just got blown over, because it's also pretty controversial, especially the ending. Always react to popular anime. We don't do that though. I think
we react to the things that we want to watch. Like,
yes, this is something I think that actually a lot. I mean, I'm not saying any of the other reaction channels are bad, but I'm saying that like maybe they could take a little bit of a note from us on this. Is that what you should really do? Is instead of just hopping around to the most popular thing looking for views and stuff, is take your like flavor of anime. Get people around you that you trust that will say, okay, based on you liking this, here's more things like this.
Right.
And then once they feel like you're ready to branch out into a new genre, pick the one that's the most open and receptive to that vein of anime that you like. And then eventually you should watch everything, not just the stupidly popular stuff. Like, and to be fair, like we're reacting right now to a lot of really popular things.
But that's because we want to watch those things.
That's because we want to watch those things. We are not reacting to things like Tokyo Ghoul, even though it's stupidly popular, because we don't really want to watch it that much.
Yeah.
So that's just something we.
Yeah. In the same way that I said my book is my favorite because I wrote the book that I wanted to read. Do the same thing with, you know, or if you're doing a reaction channel, you know, do the same thing. Like,
they're asking, would you ever make a poll with only shoujo? I feel like one would never win otherwise.
Okay,
we've thought about it.
The question is basically getting a list of shoujo that we would be up for watching all of them.
Right. I meant the slime one, 24 episodes and covers beyond the translated chapter, so we are getting like a full adaptation of where the manga is going up to now. 3-episode rule for slime show too. Oh, okay, interesting. Shots. Banana Fish, 90s, New York, drugs, mafia, gangs, prison, nice fashion.
Zombieland Saga, that's another one. Yeah, I've heard some good things about that. I haven't heard quite as much about that one, but yeah.
Would you guys read The Stranger or Catcher in... Have you guys read Stranger or Catcher in the Rye? I've heard of Catcher in the Rye.
I had not heard of either of those.
Yeah, I haven't heard of The Stranger.
No.
This reaction channel is special. Long discussions plus doesn't jump on every seasonal anime. I'll tell you, like...
Thank you, Ren.
I really appreciate that you guys like that, because this is something that we were a little bit worried of, was that we don't have the desire to basically look at other people's like things that they're watching and going, yeah, what are they watching? Because unfortunately, this is, I'd say, a thing that's not really talked about as much, but it's just assumed, is basically that the reaction channels that haven't gotten as much success yet, the key to their success is to bandwagon on whatever show the biggest channel is doing.
Sure.
And then basically just try and react to them around the same time, so they get into the suggested box on the side of YouTube for them, and then, you know, piggyback the views.
And like we kind of unknowingly did that when we were starting out, because we were like, Ruby, let's do it.
Well, right. Well, Ruby was something that I would say, you know, it was pretty popular at the time and stuff, but it was really the only show we were thinking of reacting to at the time.
Exactly.
And then we reacted to Psycho-Pass.
Yeah.
Like, who was reacting to Psycho-Pass back in 2016? We did not get a lot of views
on Psycho-Pass.
But people got to see our discussion stuff and were like, you guys really like this stuff. And Psycho-Pass was perfect for me. Like, I know that you like Psycho-Pass, but like, Makishima like spoke to me. Like, I loved Psycho-Pass.
Well, and here's the thing. Back when we started this channel, Caleb was not as into anime as he is now.
No.
So the fact that he was able to like start on things like Psycho-Pass and like get into My Hero Academia and things like that made my job a lot easier. because like before the channel started, like you were already playing Frisbee as like your main thing that you did like for your free time, right? And before the channel for me, it was anime, and then D&D too, but mostly anime. Right. So then when the channel started, it was this thing of like, okay, we're going to be watching a lot of anime now, and one of the main reasons that for me always wanted to watch the things that I wanted to watch was because it's to keep this to be that thing that I love to go to in my free time, you know, kind of a thing, rather than like, okay, what would be the next thing for the YouTube algorithm to watch, you know.
So it feels seamless to just continuously have a bunch of things that we're watching.
And the fact that I now have like extra leverage to basically introduce this guy to shows is wonderful.
So thank you for also letting us do half blind stuff as well, because it would have been a while before we had done things like Berserk.
Or Your Lie in
Or
April.
Your Lie in April.
Yeah,
Or even the Half-Bloods with One Punch Man from way back when.
Sure.
Wow.
Konosuba.
Konosuba, too.
Although you had already seen the first season, so you were going to watch that even if
I was going to watch that. Konosuba literally made me okay with fan service.
Yeah, I was so surprised.
It redeemed fan service for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, like, what was it? Because I didn't
Not completely, though.
Yeah, because I had told you about Konosuba just in like a thing of like, oh my gosh, I'm loving this show, it's so funny, but you probably wouldn't like it, it's really fan servicey. And then you tried it out at some point, and you were aware that it was really fan servicey, so you were kind of prepared for it. Mm-hmm. And then you were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I was
it's genius. It's so funny. Like I can't not gush about it. One of the things I wanted to give y'all an opportunity to do. Caleb is criminally asymptomatic.
We all are. The number of times I actually looked up what's the difference between an INTJ and a psychopath, it might be concerning to some of you. Yeah.
Oh, whoa. Mesker says, your long discussions inspired a YouTuber called Tiabu. He makes awesome discussions and seems to specialize in analysis in the animation rather than the narrative. Oh, in a way, you complement each other. I just know that your success is inspiring people. Thank you. Wow. We would never heard about that. That's so cool. Thank you.
Like that.
That's so awesome.
The idea that us nerding out and just nerding out over the things that we love is able to maybe do that for other people is. I mean, what can we say? It's incredible.
That's so cool. Yeah. Have you guys ever considered putting Space Dandy on a poll? Hey, Lyriot. Possibly a poll with exclusively Space Dandy on it, representing the Senpai faction.
No, we have never considered that. Space Dandy's just been completely out of our minds.
Speaking of factions, this is the thing I was going to talk about. So Discord events have begun.
Yeah.
The factions have been live for well over a month, but the events have started. And if you are here representing a Discord faction, so if this is the Band of the Hawk, the Body Improvement Club, Class 1A,
Meat is God,
Hunter Association, or the Stardust Crusaders. Starcrust. What is a Starcrust? I can't speak. What the heck?
Is that a kind of pie? Like.
Anyway, specifically that, if you have a question that you want to shout out your faction for and get some points, do that now.
Yeah.
And be sure to tag Semblance of Sanity YouTube. So at us here. Mm-hmm. But represent your Starcrust Dusaders. Pineapple on Starcrust pizza. Yes. Oh my god. Yes. Wow, I make for a great segue, apparently. Yes, you do, Lyriot. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So ask your question and make sure to rep your faction when you ask your question. And we'll give you guys the points. The mean hunters. Hey, yes. They're forever just ripperoni the meme hunter dream. Yeah, and if you're not on the Discord yet and you have access to it by either being a Patreon supporter or a Twitch subscriber, go there. There is so much crazy fun that's going on. Like, this is the best time to join the Discord.
It really is.
It's amazing. Now, this is also my weird passion is I love gamifying things.
It's
I love
fetish.
Turning everything into a game. It's just so much fun. Class 1A rep here. Eleanor's asking, how will you prevail over the Boku no Hero Academia hiatus? Well, you know what? Season 4, we've heard, is going to be pretty awesome.
Yep.
And it's coming soon. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I weathered Sherlock Season 3 hiatus.
Yeah.
Or is it Sherlock Season 2?
No, Season 3. Season 2 to Season 3.
Yeah. I weathered the Sherlock Season 2 hiatus.
Attack on Titan.
I weathered the Attack on Titan hiatus.
Yeah.
I weathered... what else?
Well, and here's the other thing. I've
weathered a lot of hiatuses. I have the endurance.
With hiatuses, the thing that makes them suck is that usually you marathon the show, and then you have a ton of time left before the next show, and you've already marathoned all those other things that you want to watch, right? So it's just trying to find some new thing to fill that void temporarily until the next season starts. But we have the advantage of watching like 7 different shows out all at the same time, and having it not be binge, so we can just watch the next episode and the next episode of that other thing, and it sort of carries us over, and then we're like, yes, and now, wouldn't you know it?
Yep. GUI Engineer representing Meat is God is what made you choose that chewed quote for Discord discourse. One of the senpais submitted. They're like, please use this one. And we were like, yes. The I have a boner.
Oh my god.
Oh no, they're going to clip that crap.
Yeah. They are. They totally are.
Star Crustum. Oh my gosh. What's your favorite dub representing the Stardust Crusaders? My favorite dub is probably the Bacano dub. I really like the Steins Gate dub. I really like the dub of
Ghost Stories.
Ghost Stories. Yep, yep. I would say Ghost Stories, Bacano, and Steins Gate. Probably some of my favorite dubs.
It's tough.
I don't watch that many dubs, surprisingly.
When I think about my favorite dub, usually what I think about is the show that I would be the most appalled to actually have to go and watch the sub instead of the dub for.
Sure.
And for shows like that, it's usually just whatever is my favorite show at that point where I prefer the dub, because then that's what I hear the characters as. But like Black Lagoon, excellent dub. Excellent dub. The sub is all right, but the dub is just Spice and Wolf. I do not want to hear Holo sound like a little 15-year-old anime girl. Right? Dub is excellent.
Okay.
It's absolutely excellent.
Cool.
And then Toradora, because that's just...
Jess511 asks, how do you feel about stories that start with their ending and then the rest of the stories how they got there? Shout out to Meat is God. Memento. Memento is probably the best in media res storyline.
I still haven't seen that movie.
The thing is that I would say in media res is so overdone in all the wrong ways for like episodic content and stuff.
It really is.
I really don't like it for the most part.
Yeah.
If you want to look at some really good non-linear storytelling that's not necessarily in media res, just watch Bacano, please. Yes, everyone, watch Bacano.
Bacano is excellent.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You were mentioning single-player games for possible streams. Ace Attorney is coming to PC in early 2019. Would that interest you? Currently, no, that does not interest me that much, but thank you for letting me know, Dojo. What's the link to the Discord Geek Corner, SWE? It is in the sub-only room. So you do have to be a supporter there or be at least a $1 patron of ours, patreon.com/semblance of sanity. That chewed quote is my fault, Gooey. Entirely my fault. Yes, it is, Lyriot. Vray's asking, what part of the Discord faction events is currently the most fun for you? Hashtag meme hunters. I'll accept that. Fine. My favorite event hasn't started yet. I'm really hyped for the tournament arc that's going to be starting in November. That's going to be
tournament arc.
Yes. Class 1A. How long do you want MHA to go on for ideally? I don't want MHA to go on more than 300 episodes.
Yeah, definitely.
But the thing is I think it's going to. I really do think that they are going to have it be one of those long-running things. Yeah.
Well, because what I heard is that the reason that the anime is just like basically never going to catch up to the manga is because they're doing it 2 cours per year, and they have those break times, so they're regularly giving the manga the chance to get ahead again.
This is a good question to answer. What's the logic behind MHA and Attack on Titan getting special slots but not Steins Gate Zero? Overloaded schedule? No. Steins Gate Zero is not a sequel. It is a spin-off, and it is not a necessary story that had to happen.
Right.
I was not waiting for a sequel to Steins Gate. Steins Gate ended. It was great.
It was this
perfect
excellent package. Yeah.
So the idea that Steins Gate Zero came out, I was not initially excited about it. I was like, that's cool. But I'm like I'm
kind of skeptical.
I'm a little bit skeptical of the idea of doing a spin-off. But the idea that since there's time travel and timelines and stuff, I like the idea of revisiting Steins Gate's characters.
It's possible that if MHA and Attack on Titan didn't have any seasons during that time, that we would have done Steins Gate Zero as a fill-in slot because we had more time and we're like, hey, I mean, we do want to watch Steins Gate Zero. But
Rob, what would happen if I saw erased invisible girl's quirk, Kappa?
I
don't know, Rob. I think you have a GIF for that you should share in the Discord again. I was trying to send you guys liquor, but apparently it's illegal without a liquor license. Too bad. We could have had drunk reactions.
So Ryan, the real question is then, how did Jomabe manage it?
Yes, that's true. It was hidden inside of...
Or it was outside of the country, so it's different laws or something like that.
I mean, maybe it's just that they
didn't realize
inspection.
They didn't realize that it was because
they just saw this little statue with a dick on it, and they're just
they're like, what is this?
we don't want to touch that. Oh, wait, we just have some bits from YX Casual. Just give us 100 bits. Thank you. Says, what are your thoughts on the movie Inception? Soka. Inception is a very, very good film.
It is.
It doesn't necessarily get better after like 20 rewatches, but I would say the first 5 to 10 rewatches are amazing. So that puts it up there as being one of the best Christopher Nolan films.
Yeah, I would say with Inception, my big issue with it was that I went in with
way too high expectations.
The wrong expectations. Yeah, they were basically set way too high because everyone was having their minds be blown by it. So I'm like, okay,
and you're a smart guy already.
All right, like I had been basically given the challenge by multiple people of like, see if you can make sense of Inception.
Mm-hmm. So and you're smart, so you were like,
yeah, and
sorry,
and there were
200
things,
IQ here.
And, not that much, but and there were things where I was like
160.
But there were things where there were things that I wanted them to do go further with the whole idea of the dream sequence, because that's something that I've thought about a lot. And like the idea that like it's like, oh, we're going to be creative. I'm going to make a grenade launcher. Why didn't you make a tank? Why didn't you make like literally you could make anything, right? So the idea of like getting into gunfights just seemed inane.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Has Bakugo become best boy yet in Class 1A faction? No. Band of the Hawk faction here. Who's the most hardworking senpai? Well, this is a question for me because I'm the faction organizer. You're gonna laugh, but the funny thing is that the hardest working one of them all is Mia, Monoma's mom. She has made about 40% of the achievements. Probably put in the most amount of time into it. I'd say they're all hardworking and stuff, but yeah. Mia, if you're in here, Monoma's mom, you are the senpai that none of us deserve, but the one we needed.
In this stream, Caleb has said, I have great endurance, raised his eyebrow, and later said, I have a boner. Is this stream just setting up for meme videos, Caleb?
Shh. I am trying to be subtle here.
No. Okay, so Daigo. Holo appears 15 years old, but she is actually centuries old. So I do not want her to sound like a 15-year-old girl.
All right.
Right? Because, so, yeah.
I get why... The logic still makes sense.
I get
for
why
them,
they did that,
but he just prefers it the other way.
But the choice that they did in the dub of having her sound all regal and haughty and all that was excellent.
Are you interested in upcoming Alita Battle Angel movie? Yes, a little bit. I am a little bit interested in it, but not that much.
It was really funny, though, because when we saw the trailers for it, and it's like Battle Angel, and the thing is that the old title that I had for my book was Fallen Angel.
And now it's called Battle Lines.
Battle Lines.
So it's like they smushed the titles together. Fallen Angel Battle Lines or Battle Angel.
Mash them all together.
It's just like,
we just sort of looked at each other and we're like...
Yeah. Inception is a ripoff of Paprika anime film. We saw Paprika recently, and we know why you're saying that. Yes, and Paprika is amazing.
It's just like how Chronicle is a ripoff of Akira.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Chronicle is an amazing live-action anime adaptation.
Yeah, like there are actually plenty of excellent live-action anime adaptations. You just don't realize that they are anime adaptations.
Yeah.
You know, The Matrix and Ghost in the Shell, or Inception and Paprika, or Edge of Tomorrow and All You Need Is Kill.
Yep, you know? Yep. Those are all decent movies, but they don't market them as being an anime adaptation, so they do well.
Right.
Well, also, they're also just good stories.
I almost wonder if the live-action anime adaptations, the reason that they are marketing themselves as live-action anime adaptations is because they know they're bad, and they're saying...
We need those fans
We
to
need
come
at least
here.
the hardcore fans, because otherwise we're not going to make any money.
Yep, that's probably it. You don't mind getting books? I might buy some for you if I have some bonus cash. Oh my gosh, yeah, awesome. But don't break your bank. Send us paperbacks,
little
like Amazon $5 books, you know.
I'm getting my boyfriend to watch both Haikyuu and Toradora. Next up is a Silent Voice, spreading anime love. Yes.
This is getting loved ones into anime is just always the
especially
best.
the emotionally the emotional anime.
Ones,
yes.
Yes, that is amazing. Time to rename the book Fallen Lines. Oh my god! Yes, that's amazing. Wow. Yeah, that's great. Will you ever react to a series outside anime like Breaking Bad or Vikings? We have both
those two
seen those shows because we like good shows. So we watch the good shows.
Yep.
Before we did the reaction channel.
It's really weird though, because like there are a lot of excellent non-anime shows. Like Daredevil season 3 just came out.
I'm not gonna I was not gonna wait for any kind of reaction, whatever. I went and binged Daredevil season 3 so hard.
And apparently it's excellent, so and I need to watch it as soon as I have a spare moment. Forget almost all the other Marvel Netflix stuff. Okay.
Like it's really just
it was
Daredevil.
Already done.
Yeah, I mean, okay, hold on. There are some parts in the first season of Luke Cage that are pretty good. They're pretty good. In fact, I love the first half of Luke Cage, season 1. It's fantastic. Jessica Jones, I was kind of in love with, David Tennant. And Jessica...
Or in hate with David Tennant?
Jessica with David Tennant in the same kind of vein of things.
They did some cool things.
It was cool. I would say that Jessica Jones season 2 was a letdown.
I didn't even finish the first season.
I'm not even gonna watch Iron Fist. Oh. And then Defenders was just disappointing. It was actually just disappointing. But Daredevil, oh man, Daredevil is back, baby. Season 3, it was
okay. Well, I'll need to watch that.
It was really good.
But the thing is with live action shows is that even while there are those exemplary shows like Daredevil, because they're dealing with a different time allotment,
right?
They do things differently in the same way that Hunter x Hunter does a different style of storytelling than, say, like, I don't know, A Place Further in the Universe, because it has, 150 episodes to work with, right? It has a lot more real estate. There's different things that live action shows do, and the transition is weird.
Yeah, like it is.
It's taking something like Daredevil season 3 to get me to entertain the idea of going back and rewatch and watching
live action
a live action show, just because
Westworld. Yes, we know about Westworld.
We've heard so much about that,
and we've been saving it. Like I've been good. Westworld, I've heard, is the type of show that I would go bananas for. So I'm holding off on it.
Anime gangster show, 91 Days. Yeah, you might like that one, Caleb. I actually watched that one a while ago. But it was pretty good.
Keep that on the
it has a sort of Bacano feel, kind of. But yeah.
Do you guys mind if I buy you guys more than 10 stuff? What does that mean? More than 10?
I'm terrified to know what that would entail.
Should we Google it?
But I mean, I
get your phone. Wait, do you not have your phone here?
No.
I don't have my phone here either. No.
I want to get
someone tell us what is this more than 10 stuff? Send a
I think they might just be talking about sending us a lot of stuff. You can send us however much stuff you want.
Yes.
Thank you.
Be careful about sending us consumables.
Yes,
consumables can go bad.
Consumables can absolutely go bad. But thank you.
Have you guys heard of Over the Garden Wall? Of course. Okay. I've actually been saving it just in case of a potential reaction.
What's Over the Garden Wall?
I don't want to tell you.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to tell you.
Have we watched Studio Ghibli movies? If so, what do you think of them? Yes, we have absolutely watched them. Love them.
Love them.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Better Call Saul? If yes, thoughts. I am actually holding off on Better Call Saul just in case we want to do a reaction to it.
Gotcha.
I'd love to see you guys watch BoJack Horseman. That's one that I've heard of.
On Netflix that they're pushing.
And I've never really heard anything good or bad about it.
Gotcha.
I've just know that it's a thing. It looks a little weird.
Baki 2018. Not seen it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
I think we're actually going to wrap things up here pretty soon. The one thing that I wanted to talk about is... I mentioned Friday night gaming streams at 6 p.m. PST.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ruby reactions are coming back.
Yes.
Specifically Volume 6.
Mm-hmm.
Ruby. And the show premieres October 27th, so this Saturday. which means that due to Rooster Teeth's rules, we'll upload the reaction. It'll get blocked. We'll have this all be private, so it'll be uploaded and stuff. And then we will release it once they unblock it, which could be...
We don't know how that will go, really.
We don't really know how it'll go. So this is one thing that we're kind of... It's one of the reasons why we've taken a step back from a lot of Rooster Teeth content is that they took a lot of stuff off YouTube.
Their release schedule shifted a bunch.
They shifted a bunch, so we were just basically like, all right, if you're not going to be consistent, then, you know, we're not going to do your stuff.
We just sort of stopped because we had to, and then we were like, you know.
Yeah. So specifically with RWBY Volume 6, we are going to be reacting to it. We will be doing the reactions for it with conjunction to Rooster Teeth's unblocking copyrighted stuff. So Rooster Teeth is really kind. They don't care if we edit it at all. They basically said, put the whole thing in. Yeah, discuss it. That's fine. As long as you're attributing us and you don't try to fight us putting our ads on your video.
Right.
We're good. And in some ways, I think that reactors for RWBY specifically as a show helped a lot of the popularity of RWBY explode, even though it was already a massive success after Volume 3. People who shouted it out and stuff are really good with that.
Right, it just exploded all over the internet.
Yeah, and RWBY's always been a topsy-turvy thing with regards to quality of it, but the thing is that it's an anime. Yes, it's an anime. They adapted into the Japanese and making a manga out of it and everything, so you can get over that. Made in the U.S.
Right.
And I think it's important that we support the kind of things that makes anime a global product.
Well, and not just that, like, because absolutely yes to everything you just said. But in addition to that, look at how RWBY started.
Oh, yeah.
This is basically just a passion project, indie little thing, some people in a, you know, like in a garage, you know, almost like making this thing because they wanted to tell a story.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, that's the kind of thing that makes me excited because, you know, again, right, with the whole book thing, another reason to just say thank you again to all of you guys.
Yes.
I was thinking that I was going to have to basically go door to door with my book once it was done. You know, put on a button-up shirt and try and not be intimidating to people with my 6'4"-ness, coming to their door and saying, hey, here's this sci-fi book I wrote.
You should buy
it. And, you know, for your family, friends, you know, whatever. Right. It's really good. Will you help support me in this? I'm a starving artist, you know.
Yeah, seriously.
And I don't have to do that anymore because of you guys.
Yep. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's crazy that happens.
And the fact that I can see something like that, but, you know, dialed up to, you know, extreme with RWBY, it's like I absolutely want to see everywhere that this goes with all the complications, with all the you know, the bumpy places in the road and everything. And
because it's inspiring to us to create.
Exactly.
Like we think about ways and things that we can create and, you know, flex our creative muscles and stuff and be bad at it in the beginning.
Exactly. Fail your way forward.
Yeah, exactly. Fail your way forward. So as long as your passion goes into it, it really doesn't matter how your critical reception is because people will see the passion.
I mean, our early videos, don't look them up, but
don't look at them.
I mean, they sucked. So, you know.
Someone says that Father is a garbage villain, almost ruined Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood for me. Thoughts on him? Okay, I see why you're saying this, but the thing is that episode 40 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, when they go into the whole Xerxes backstory bit, is so good.
Yeah.
So good. I can't say that Father is a garbage villain. I would say that Envy is a more compelling villain, and Greed is a better character than both of them combined.
Right, and Wrath probably had a much more presence in, like, wanting to defeat that person.
It's the combination of them being the sons and daughters, effectively, of the father. It's a family fighting a family, and I love that aspect.
But I know what you mean, because when all we had seen from of Father was just, like, images of him, right? If they had done what I thought they were originally doing, I would have been very upset.
Yeah, no,
that would have just ruined it, right?
No real spoilers here.
But if they had done that, I mean, it's the obvious thing, the thing that you assume once you see Father, right? If they had done that, that would have sucked. But they didn't do that. They did something else, and the way Father is resolved.
Yes, the ending
in both manners.
Yes.
Both manners.
You know what we're talking about if you've seen it. Yep.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent. I was actually watching one of the last episodes. I was rewatching that episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood at the gym in like the cardio theater way early in the morning, and this grandpa guy comes in afterwards, and I was like, like, do you mind if and he's like, oh yeah, go for it, just keep going. And he was watching it, and he was actually getting really into it, and like the whole thing of how they resolved father and everything. He was just like, wow, that's. I mean, the whole thing was very violent and but wow,
very interesting. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool.
That's great. Yeah. Sheena, Mayuri, Kuristina, Amana, Suzuha. Choose one to marry, one to court, and one to kill.
That's
kill Amane?
Kill Suzuha, but I mean, yeah, probably.
Sorry.
Here's the thing.
Rip Suzuha.
Here's the thing. She's prepared for it.
Yeah.
She's prepared for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then.
Yeah, and then we would probably court Mayuri.
I would court Mayuri, and then
she's too young.
well, no. I think she's actually. She's older.
Oh, okay.
But and then marry Kuristina. Here's why. Here's why. Because Mayuri, I don't know if she would make for a good long-term partner because of well, no, she'd call you out if on your BS. But I feel like Kuristina would be better for just long-term relationship type thing.
Oh wait, MMA okay. The person saying, why don't you ever respond to my questions? I've asked like 10 to 15 in total. None was answered. I don't think we saw your questions. I'm so sorry, but like there's a lot of questions that just we might miss, and it's not.
And there's also certain types of questions, like if it's something of like, have you seen this show or that show?
We're just gonna move on.
A lot of times we won't answer those just because we get a lot of those,
and also we have a Mal that
and we do have a Mal. A lot of people don't look at that.
But the thing is, we don't have that in the description of this Twitch channel and stuff, so we can get that stuff available to you. But ask your question again. I'll be on the lookout for it.
Yeah.
Are you creating a book too in the future, Caleb? Yeah, I have certain things I'd like to do, but I want to do my interactive story thing that I've been teasing about to the patrons before I would do a book, actually. Because I think it's going to be easier to write. There'll be less constraints on format and structure, but also it's going to be more of a game than a story for me. And when it's a game, I love
he
that.
Loves
That's
games.
Great.
Yeah.
Had to mute you guys. Sorry, still getting through FMAB. Oh, no worries, Eleanor. No problem.
It's a good cause.
Yeah. Like Cherish Dabi says, just tag us like that.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
That helps a lot because then we'll just have a higher chance of seeing it.
Right, makes it stand out. Yeah.
Will you update the schedule on your website? Oh, could you do that?
Oh,
the website schedule.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Where's that question? Oh yeah.
There. Thanks, Daw. Yeah, we'll update that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a Mal. It's linked in the description of all our YouTube videos.
Whatever happened to Daily Dose of Kamina?
So he's writing a book.
Yeah. So I want to finish that up.
Once he's finished that, then we'll talk to you about Daily Dose of Kamina.
Right.
We still really want to do it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Daily Dose of Kamina is kind of his faction thing.
Yeah.
It's not an event type thing, but it is an event in
kind
that
of, yeah.
There's you'll see once it ends up coming out. The idea was a short form video format,
right, with
just Jacob.
That would, and potentially even me being in Kamina cosplay, potentially.
But we'll talk about that more once his book is done.
Exactly.
You don't have to abstain completely from those types of questions, Mesker.
Yeah.
The main thing is that we skip over a lot of them.
Right, exactly. We'll still like read them and be like, oh, okay, people are talking about this show, because it's still good to just know what people are talking about and things. But we won't necessarily like talk about it a lot.
Oh, Ranson says add a bot with commands, like when someone asks, "Will you watch?" A mod types "!" Will you watch to make the bot spit out a quick answer.
Oh, that's
shirt off, PogChamp. No.
Well, no. Kamina doesn't wear a shirt. Is the thing.
Right.
So yeah, so that's the other thing.
Maybe.
So if I did that, if I did that, then that would be a thing. But then I would also want to actually
Jacob shirtless. Oh man.
Then that do not quote me on saying that will or won't happen because But I mean, an excuse to dress up as Kamina. I mean, that would be pretty cool.
I know you guys are big readers. Do you guys have an SOS Goodreads or something similar? I'm always on the lookout for good books, and I feel like you guys have similar tastes to mine.
We don't.
We don't. We might want to look into that. We have already answered questions for all the factions except for the Body Improvement Club. Everyone else answered a question.
Body Improvement
So you don't need to.
Yeah.
You don't need to do that if you don't want to. I don't really know what top 3 favorite net abilities would be. It's so complex.
If you think we missed something in Kill la Kill episode 6, bring it up to the mods first, and then basically say, hey, is this something that's good to bring up to them? Because if saying that we missed something, a lot of times it's not actually that we missed it, it's just that we didn't draw attention to it in the discussion, like maybe we would if we had seen future episodes.
Right.
And that's where those things can get really scary, because then it's drawing attention more to something, and then it's like, okay, yeah, so now we know that is actually a really big plot point, things like that.
Right. And that's something that the mods know whether or not it's something to bring up with us.
Right.
But I know what it is like when you are following your favorite reactor and they're going through your favorite show, and it's like, oh no, they're
right.
Wow. Wait a minute. What was saying? Twitch terms of service, boys, and then GUI Engineer is saying Twitch terms of service says guys can be shirtless, just girls can't be. Interesting.
And this wouldn't be on Twitch anyways, because the whole idea is short form.
So it'd be YouTube.
So it'd be YouTube.
Right. It's very common to have, for example, magnets so that the bot posts an associated message. Funny. All right, cool. Mekashu, last question before going to sleep. 2 a.m. here. Caleb, when you talked about the Netflix Marvel series, you didn't say anything about The Punisher. Did you like it, or is it bad, forgettable like the others? I keep forgetting that The Punisher was even there. I haven't watched it yet, so maybe I should.
I did watch it. It was kind of forgettable.
Oh, okay. You don't like it had superhero live action stuff. Anyway.
I don't like superhero live action stuff. I did watch it. There were some good parts about it for sure, but yeah.
The whole father fight in F maybe is the definition of Deus Ex Machina. Yeah, I'm not going to talk other stuff here.
Yeah.
But we are interested in Paranoia Agent. Jacob shirtless, it sounds like fan service from female watcher.
It will be once I get back in shape. I've let myself go because of book writing and stuff.
Mods never respond, especially the Hunter x Hunter mods. That's a thing of not necessarily tagging the mods then. If you're just saying mods, you need to tag the mods in Discord. Now that's just, but if it's on the YouTube videos and stuff, you don't necessarily know if they're responding. They have basically copy pasted entire comments from YouTube, and they're like, "Here you go, check this out."
Yeah,
and
watching Attack on Titan OVAs like Lost Girls, potentially, but
we'll see.
Yeah, if we did, we wouldn't necessarily react to it.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten a question from that person that said they didn't, send a question there, so that's a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to wrap things up right about now. Rob saying you can help set us up with bot stuff later. Awesome. Cool. That would be great, Rob. I really appreciate the help there. How does someone recommend anime for future polls? So, we have a super list that we have never really wanted to reveal to anyone, because when they see what's on the list, then they go, wait, where's my show here? And we're like, yeah, we don't want it on the list. But basically just saying, I recommend this show, it's really good, is all you need to do.
Right.
The thing is that it will not necessarily go on the next poll. It will go onto a big list with potentially anywhere from 50 to 500 shows, or something, a ridiculously large list. And then we kind of slot it into a kind of a pseudo priority thing. And if we see something that kind of just jumps up to the top, we'll just shove it right up to the top.
Well, generally what will happen is we'll recommending shows won't get us to put them on polls, but it will get us on our radar.
On our radar, yeah.
So that then we're like, okay, we're thinking about that show, right? And then what we'll do is we'll ask people, like, certain people that know our taste very well and stuff like that, and we'll be like, hey, have you seen this show? Is this something we should check out? And then depending on what they say, and depending on what they say back to us, and whether we're like, oh yeah, that does sound like a show that we really want to watch, then we'll put it on a poll.
Yeah. Do you find Monster heartwarming? Could you recommend anime like that?
Monster is absolutely heartwarming on certain parts, and on other parts, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't really know an anime exactly like Monster.
Like Monster, I don't know, but as far as heartwarming shows, I have a list of shows that I would basically show my mother.
Yeah.
And they include Usugi Drop, anime only, because the manga doesn't exist. Sweetness and Lightning, because that show is just absolutely sweet. And then, like, A Place Further in the Universe and things like that. Those are very heartwarming in my mind, but they're nothing like Monster. So,
Belutima says, to elaborate on my always watch popular anime is because you mentioned the 3-episode rule, and you can only watch things with the community when everyone talks about it once, but you can always watch it later when everyone is trying to push their opinions on it. So that's
gotcha.
Okay.
That way you're getting it sort of like free of any other people, like, and other people's opinions kind of a thing.
The main reason why we like other people's opinions is because it tells us which shows to avoid.
Right, yeah. Because the thing with anime is that it's kind of like you're panning for gold. Like, most anime out there isn't that great, right?
Right.
But then there's those shows that are just so good, right, that you just have to watch them. And you don't know what's going to be like that when they're airing.
Mesker is upset about the black-eyed ball talking to the white ball in FMAB because of the
Oh, really?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, it's
that's maybe the thing. We never reacted to FMAB, so you guys don't get to hear our I think semi-brilliant discussion on why that part is amazing.
Yeah, because it's basically the whole your perception defines your reality.
Yeah.
And because of the perception that a certain person had, that caused their reality to be defined a certain way, which then is also a great contrast with the main character and how their perception defines their reality in a very positive way. And
and we could get into that for a while, but we're not going to do that here. I've got to call it generally around 2 hours for the podcast. But guys, thank you so much for joining us here.
Yes, thank you. It's great hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, be sure to be here for every podcast 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do Berserk manga review reactions of sorts on Tuesdays 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are now going to try to be semi consistent with a Friday night gaming stream at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and glad to do this with you guys. So join the Discord if you're a Twitch sub.
Yes.
Hope you check out the YouTube channel, see if there's anything there that interests you. If you're just finding us here on Twitch for the first time,
then please tell us how. But,
most of these people should be from YouTube and stuff. That would be really, really hilarious and stuff. But
I'm not defeated, just hungry.
Yeah, we're really hungry. That's usually how our life works. We're like, all right, work, eat. Work, eat.
And the fact that work means like watch anime and stuff.
Well, really cool. or editing, or
editing and all that stuff.
Or doing plans and stuff like that. So writing, all that jazz.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, we'll see you all in the next one. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.